the magic clock. In a small town where the streets smelled of fresh bread and flowers, there lived a girl named Olenka. She was very diligent and wanted to manage absolutely everything. Every morning, Olenka woke up very early. She studied her lessons, drew pictures, read books, helped her mother, cleaned her room, played the piano, and learned to dance. She wanted to be the best at everything. "Olenka, maybe you should go play outside," her mother would ask. "No, Mom, I still have so many things to do," the girl would reply and hurry off again. "Olenka, go and rest a little," her grandmother would say. "I can't, Grandma. I haven't finished my drawing yet," Olenka would answer. Days passed, and Olenka grew more and more tired. She didn't have time to play with friends, didn't listen to the birds singing, didn't admire the clouds. She only kept rushing, rushing, rushing. One evening, as Olenka sat at her desk trying to do everything at once, someone small knocked on the window. The girl went closer and saw a tiny gnome with a long white beard. "Hello, Olenka," said the gnome. "I am Hodenko, the keeper of time. I see that you are always in a hurry and never rest, so I've brought you a gift." The gnome handed Olenka a small golden watch on a chain. "This is a magic clock," Hodenko explained. "It has 2 buttons. When you press the red button, time goes faster, and you can get more things done. When you press the green one, time slows down, and you can enjoy every minute." "Wow," Olenka exclaimed. "Now I'll be able to do everything." The gnome smiled and disappeared. The next morning, Olenka immediately pressed the red button. And indeed, time sped up. In 1 hour, she did as much as she usually did in 3. Homework, done. Drawing, finished. Room, clean. "How wonderful," thought the girl. "Now I'm the most productive." But after a few days, Olenka noticed something strange. When time went fast, she didn't remember anything. She couldn't recall what she had read in her book. She didn't remember what she had for breakfast. She didn't even notice that tulips had bloomed outside. "That's strange," she thought. "I do so much, but I remember nothing." One day, her friend Marinka came to visit. "Olenka, let's go play in the park." "I can't. I have a lot to do," Olenka replied automatically and pressed the red button. Time sped up again, but suddenly the girl saw Marinka sadly walking away. Then she noticed that a new rose had bloomed in the garden, but she didn't have time to smell it. She saw her grandmother baking her favorite pies, but she didn't taste them because time was flying too fast. That evening, Olenka sat among all her completed tasks and suddenly burst into tears. "Why are you crying?" Hodinko the gnome appeared. "Didn't you manage to do everything you wanted?" "I did," the girl sobbed. "But I didn't play with Marinka. I didn't see Mom's rose. I didn't taste Grandma's pies. I didn't really experience anything at all." Hodinko nodded. "Now you understand. Life is not only about tasks. Life is about moments of joy, friendship, and love, and those cannot be lived at high speed." "But I want it to be the best," Olenka whispered. "Try pressing the green button," the gnome suggested. Olenka pressed the green button, and time slowed down. Suddenly, she heard birds singing outside the window. She saw sunbeams dancing on the wall. She felt the scent of her mother's rose drifting from the garden. "How beautiful," the girl said in amazement. "I've never noticed this before." She went outside and saw Marinka. "Marinka, let's play together," Olenka called. They played in the park, and for the first time in a long while, Olenka laughed with all her heart. Time moved slowly, but every minute was filled with joy. When Olenka returned home, her grandmother treated her to pies. The girl slowly tasted each bite and enjoyed the flavor. "Grandma, these are the most delicious pies in the world," she said. "I've always baked them the same way," her grandmother smiled. "It's just that today you didn't rush and truly tasted them." That evening, Hodinko the gnome appeared again. "So, Olenka, which button is better?" The girl thought for a moment. "You know, I've understood something important. The red button helps you do many things, but the green one helps you live life. And life isn't about how many tasks you complete, but about the joy in each moment." "Wise girl," Hodinko nodded. "Now I'll tell you a secret. The clock was never truly magical. Time always moved the same way. But when you pressed the red button, you rushed so much that you didn't notice life around you. And when you pressed the green one, you slowed down and looked around. The real magic is not in the clock, but in how you live your time." "So, I control my own time?" Olenka asked in surprise. "Yes," the gnome smiled. "You can work and be diligent, but it's important to remember rest, friends, and the beauty around you, because real life is a balance between tasks and joy." Hodinko waved his hand and disappeared, taking the magic clock with him. From that day on, Olenka learned to plan her time differently. She still studied well and helped her mother, but now she always found time to play with friends, walk in the park, hug her grandmother, and admire the starry sky. And you know what? She became even happier because she understood the most important thing. The value of time is not in how much you manage to do, but in how brightly you live each moment.